Yep.
Okay, so what we're talking about is the lean. We want to get our bodies to go with gravity, right? If gravity, so like what's a stick? The stick doesn't look like it has any calf muscles on it, okay, right? So the idea being, no muscles in this thing. But what you want to do is as it leans forward, it falls on its own, right? So if I can do that for my body, if I can fall from the bottom, I line my body the way we just talked about, and I fall forward, I'm going to move, right? It's that simple. Gravity does that work. So as I'm at this point, there's part of gravity pulling that down towards the ground. Now, our lean's not going to be this. That's silly, right? We're going to be too far, and then what we're going to do is have our foot come out in front of us. We're going to land harder, okay? So we don't want that. But what we want to try to do is find that right angle of lean that's just enough so we can kind of keep that. So if I, as I'm moving, I could keep that all the time. This looks like a circus trick or something. But the idea being you want to keep that balance in that right spot where you're leaning forward. So it's actually an unbalanced force, right? That's causing you to go forward, but it's not so unbalanced that you're like this and you're kind of trying to stop yourself from falling on your face. And if I do a lean, I fall forward, I eventually are going to take a step. Okay? Everybody in the class that I've taken so far has not hit their nose on the ground. Right? They don't just go fall, gunk. They instinctively, this is an instinct thing, and actually in babies, little babies, like 4 months old, like little, you can bring them up and tilt their little torsos forward, and usually you can see a little step happen. It's like a reflex, and our bodies know to do that. And so we fall forward, and that's what we're trying to do is create that initiation of the step, and then we just have to play with how much that lean is to create that create that fall forward and that lift up the ankle and that kind of propagation. So, but that's really the basics of the lean. The lean is your gas pedal, so the more you lean, the more faster you'll go. Of course, that demands more demand from these abdominal muscles. You have to keep your core aligned, otherwise you're going to be off center. You're going to have your body not fall in the right direction. It's going to be more problematic. So we have to have, so the faster runners, you have to have the ability to control that and to find that right center so you can keep those wheels turning underneath you as you go. Imagine the road runner, the road runner, it's always tilted forward, and those little wheels are back here, right? They're not in front. And this is another thing, if I wanted to tilt this forward, and if I kept this thing rigidly upright, like a lot of people, they're upright, or their shoulders are back, what do I have to do to get myself to go forward? I have to use some sort of outside force, right? I mean, I could have someone push me forward, but that doesn't happen, right? Your body produces that force. So you're pushing from your legs, so you're using your calf and your muscles here to propel you forward. Instead of just using free energy, when you're falling forward, you just let that body fall forward because that's just like the water flowing down the hill. That's what's going to happen. And that's another analogy is to run like water. Let your body be more in that flow. Let gravity take you. Let it flow more naturally versus just making a thing like you have to push it up the hill. That's a lot more. You use pumps and energy to push water up a hill, and it's not the natural course. So the more we can kind of let the body fall forward, let it do what it naturally needs to do, and then when we fall forward, obviously we pick up, we come again, we pick up, we fall forward, we pick up. So it's this constant cycle where we're in that, you're landing again, and so you're just falling forward, and so that's really the natural thing that we need to work on with the lean. And the more we can kind of get that better, it becomes much more natural for us to do. So it'll be a fun lesson to show you a couple things here. Okay? All right, let's go over it.